Hello. Hello, everybody. It is an absolutely gorgeous Saturday afternoon on the Connecticut River. So I thought, why not do my Facebook Live from here? So I will give you guys a little view of where I am. Hello. We've got low tide. It's getting lower. I think the water is still going out. So we've got people playing on their boats. This amazing piece of tree driftwood, which I love. Hi, Marianne. And I'm on the little beach down here that is more sandy beach than most of the others around here. So anyway, we'll be back on task here. I'm actually going to combine 6 and 7, the ones I talked a little bit about yesterday and kind of got cut short. But I also have some really fantastic news. My nephew just had his little baby boy this morning, him and Melanie, at about 9 a.m., 8 pounds, 9 ounces, 21 inches, a little Willy boy. And he's actually the 4th, but he'll be William Raymond Bloth III because my dad's middle name was different. But he's the 4th Willy boy in our family to carry on the last name, which we've only had one William in each generation. My dad, my brother, his son, and now this little guy. So it's a pretty exciting day for the Bloth clan. And we've been texting back and forth, and I'll post a picture of the little bugger in a little bit. Mom and baby are doing well. She did end up with a C-section, and he is a just gorgeous little baby boy. Little round head. And my other sister-in-law, the mom, is so excited as well. And shout out to Colleen. So she's overjoyed that her son had this little guy. So we all are. My mother especially. That'll be great-grandchild number 5 from my mom. So we can't wait to see him. And we're enjoying the pictures for now. So just a little something to share some really good news in our day. In my day, anyways. So step 6 and 7, I'm going to combine them a little bit, even though they're totally separate, and they are definitely done separately. So number 6, as I mentioned, was we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character, the ones we found out about in step 4, or an ongoing step 4. And 7 is asked him to remove our shortcomings. So obviously you have to be ready first, as we talked about yesterday. And ready can be a sense of peace and serenity around knowing that they will be removed, that there are things in your life that you don't have the power to remove, but there is a power greater than you that can. So why not ask for the help? It's free. Oh, really? Now you're going to drown me out with this boat. By the way, that's totally illegal on the Connecticut River. The noise, they have noise regulations on the Connecticut River. And I'm pretty sure that one is over and above. And I'm sure they're having a blast doing that. So we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. And then step 7 being, we're asked him to remove our shortcomings. So basically, shortcomings are what? They're things that you're still doing that hurt you, that you maybe didn't know about until you did some of this inventory work. There's things that you are doing because you've always done them, maybe, but they're not necessarily in your best interest any longer. And there's things that other people notice that when you're hurting yourself, I'll bring up one, for instance. I know someone who used to walk into the bathroom, look in the mirror and go, oh my God, I look like shit. Or some such thing. Shouldn't swear this much, but. And one day I just finally said, do you realize you do that every single day? And she didn't. She didn't realize she did that every single day. And I said, you don't want to talk to yourself that way. Like, just not good, right? So that's one of the things that sometimes you do stuff, you don't even realize you're still doing it. And somebody else might notice that you're doing it, right? So thank God other people are always in our lives, sometimes to tell us things like that. And sometimes to make us recognize, like, I don't want to say that to myself every morning or every day. So when you look in the mirror, tell yourself you love you. I love me, right? Hey, Bren. And I think that's important, that you talk lovingly to yourself every day. And maybe that's something no one ever taught you to do or to even think about. I didn't learn about it till I was well into my 25th year on the planet. So I know that as a concept, it makes sense. Is it easy to do? Absolutely not. But you can learn to do it just like anything else. You didn't know how to ride a bike until you knew how to ride a bike. And you had to learn and probably fall a few times before you could do that. So, or other things similar. So there's always things you can learn about yourself and things you can change about yourself. But if you ask your creator, infinite intelligence, to release you of those shortcomings, there is a possibility that that will pretty much happen. So how great is that? You just have to ask. Many people don't ask, or they think they have to live with it because they did all these years. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can always change your tomorrow. Every day is a new opportunity to not only learn something about yourself, but to change something about yourself that you want to change. So once you know what some of those shortcomings are, and those, to me, shortcomings are short of living up to the ideal of what I would like to be or who I want to be or the values that I want to partake in, so to speak, in the world. So I think that's important. And I released a lot of things my own ways with the help of other people. But I also think that many things have been lifted and released for me because I've asked. And what a great gift that is to have that happen in your life. So that's something you can think about, something that might be of a focus, maybe not necessarily just for today, but anytime in the future. Or you can just ask for certain things to be released. If you're always struggling with a certain characteristic or a certain way of thinking, and you really want to be released of that, ask every day. Ask 2, 3, 10 times a day. It doesn't matter. Does it really matter how often you ask? No. You can ask as often as you want. And asking can be something called prayer. For other people, it's asking out loud. For some people, standing in front of a mirror and saying, I want to release this. Please allow this to be released from my life. And for other people, it might be working with a practitioner. On the shopping show this morning, we had a practitioner who helps people release some of that stuff. Actually, a few of them. Which, how great is that? That there are people that can help you release some of this stuff. And what does that mean? That means that maybe that's what your creator wants you to do that day, is connect with that person that can help you do that work if you don't know how to do it yourself. And if it hasn't been released and you still are struggling with it or still being challenged by it. So for me, many things have been released. And I talked about this in some of the earlier videos, and I think it's quite apropos at this time in the world, is that I've completely been released of the fear of death. I am absolutely thrilled that I no longer fear that. I don't feel like right now is my time to go, but if it is, I would be okay with that. But so many are afraid of death that keeps them in fear. And if it keeps you in fear, again, we're going to use that acronym, you're forgetting everything's all right. Because really right now, everything is all right. right here, right now, as I sit here, everything's all right, right? So, but when you're released of some things like that, things that you fear or things that hold you back from being truly who you are and expressing yourself in the world, those are the things that really can make you blossom into being the person that you want to be. And how great is that when you can actually truly live the life you want to live, the life you maybe have dreamed of and have never been able to put it together. But there's practitioners and people out there that can help you release those blocks and get rid of that stuff you've been dragging around like a duffel bag all these years. And I think that's a really great way to, ask for the Creator to maybe bring you the person or people that can help you do that. And that's what I've always done anyways. The story of when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So many times that has happened. And that's part of being ready. That's part of step 6 is being ready and allowing that to happen. And then recognizing, hey, I really want to work on this. I really want to get rid of this shortcoming, this less than ideal way of living. And so then you can do that for yourself. So I think it's kind of nice that there are actual steps you can take. So that gives you a feeling of self-empowerment to be able to do that. And you know what? You're worth it. Whatever it is you're struggling with and you want to release it, you are worth doing the work for that. So if you have to start there, just look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm willing to be willing to do what I need to do. Even if you're not willing yet. Just be willing to be willing is a big piece of getting ready, so to speak. I mean, if you've been carrying this around for 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60 years, guess what? It's not going to leave tomorrow. It could. There's miracles happen every day, right? And it could happen. However, that's not something that's probably going to happen, but it could happen in a very short period of time, relatively speaking, if you've been carrying it around for 60 years. So what if it takes you a whole year to get rid of it? Isn't it worth it? That's 1 year out of your 60 years that you no longer have to suffer with that. So if you look at the bigger picture or the bigger game plan for your life, that's a nice way of presenting it to yourself and saying, maybe I'm just going to look in the mirror every day and say, I'm willing to be willing to do whatever it is I need to do, or to bring me to the people that I need to connect with, or show me through meditation or show me through prayer how I can change this and what I can do to get relief from this issue. So that's my thought for the day. It's kind of a combo, like I said, step 6 and 7. And it's just my opinion and my take on it. With any of these, as many people know, you've been studying them for 20, 30, 40 years. There's always more to learn on all these steps, and I continue to learn more about me, about the steps, how it impacts my life, how my Creator works in my life, and I happen to call it God. You can call it whatever you like. For some people, it's nature, right? Look at this. Like, can you really believe that this is not connected to some being beyond us? Absolutely. Look at what we're looking at here today. It's just gorgeous. The trees are starting to all turn green. The blossoms are all out. The weather is just perfect. The skies are pretty blue. New babies came into life. Life does continue in spite of us. And sometimes I forget that. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. Everything's still really good, okay? So we'll get all through some of this COVID stuff. It'll be a time before we understand it. So, someone else said that we're blindsided by this right now, but guess what? 2020 is the vision, right? We have 2020 vision this year. Maybe that's why it happened in 2020. Did you think about that? Because hindsight is always 2020, right? So maybe it'll take till 2021 for us to understand what happened in 2020. That might be the case because new information comes out all the time. And there's so much conflicting information. I think that's why people live in fear and anxiety. So if you're interested, there's plenty of people I can get you in touch with, or you can check out some of the apps that are on that are free right now. If you need something, instant message me or text me or email me, whatever way you need to get a hold of me. Let me know. I'll be happy to direct you to something that might be beneficial. So I'm going to sign off in the usual way, and it's definitely shining. The sun is always shining, guys, no matter where you are, no matter whether the weather is raining, cloudy, or you don't see the sun, it's still always shining, or we would not be alive on this planet. Thank God the sun is always shining. But that to me means also, my analogy with that is always that my higher power, my God, my creator is always there too. It's always got my back. So I will utilize it in the best way possible and make sure that I'm taking good care of myself. Hi, Mina. Hi, Donna. Oh, Donna Marie. Long time no talk, girl. Oh, Janice, you're on too. Tiffany's on. Yay. I'm just now seeing all these people. I wasn't watching a minute ago. I was just talking out of my head. Those are the thoughts that come in my head, so then I share them. So hopefully they're of some benefit to you. And love you guys. Have a great afternoon. And we'll talk again tomorrow at some point. So signing off for now. Love you. Bye.